to another MaizePlus update video, and today version 1.1 of MaizePlus released. The major change with that is support for the GöWEIL DLC, which I will have a look at in a moment. I have a bunch of stuff in progress to demonstrate some of that, but I'm just going to run through some of the other changes that have been incorporated first. So the first one of those, if you are familiar with MaizePlus and missions or contracts, you might be aware of the bug where sometimes there would be a visual display error between silage and hay missions. That has now been fixed, so that's really cool. There's been an improvement to the compatibility with pumps and hoses and mods that make use of pumps and hoses, in particular things like the DSA BGA pack that was released on Mod Hub that makes use of pumps and hoses. So that's really cool. The Doika beat pallets have been added to the shovel, so you can pick those up off the floor or take them out of a pallet and put them into the shovel. And there's been a small correction in one of the XML files so that the forage harvester now correctly produces chaff rather than, I think it was producing crop swath. The last one I want to talk about in the update before we move into the new DLC is some changes to the prices, and that is particularly to do with the TMR prices and if you're purchasing or selling those. And I'll put the numbers up on the screen. Basically, depending on the complexity of the TMR, they are now either worth... Generally they're worth less now. The dairy one is the same, the others are worth less than the base game one. So yeah, be aware if you're buying your TMR, if there's, if you've got a buy point that you can buy TMR from, some of the MaizePlus ones are now cheaper. That's just to reflect the ingredients that are in them, and if you're selling TMR you'll get a bit less now. Obviously, the nice thing with MaizePlus is if you're not happy with that, you can go into the XML and change it yourself and put it back so that you can, in fact, make a bit more. That is entirely up to you. So let's jump into the GöWEIL DLC now. So let's jump into the store and have a look first at the specifics of the GöWEIL DLC. So loads of people have covered all the basics. We've got the grabs, we've got the wrappers, I've got the stationary wrappers. I'll show you those working with the MaizePlus bales in a moment. And then we've got the static balers. And so what you'll see here is a much longer list now with the updated MaizePlus of the things you can bale with the static baler. So we've got base game straw and hay and conditioned grass that comes through with MaizePlus because that is base game grass and chaff. And then we've got the, I think it's cut sugar beets that the GöWEIL DLC adds in, and TMR. Then we've got all the MaizePlus field types that you add in. So we've got wet grass and semi-dry grass. We've got crop swath. We've got fresh maize, which is maize harvested with a forage harvester. We've got the other 3 TMR types. We've got beet pulp, and we've got corn grain grist. So that's your raw CCM. So you can bale CCM to do CCM baling. So really nice update there by the team. I should add in a thank you to the guys that have done the update. They put in a cracking effort over the weekend that the DLC was released to update MaizePlus. They had to write some new scripts to get it to work with the DLC. So big shout outs to BGO, Akimobile, Braven and Ursin Rainer for getting all of the updates to MaizePlus done, and the alien and the rest of the team. So let's have a look at how it all works, shall we? So I have had a Crone Big M working away, mowing some grass without the conditioner on. So we have wet grass on the ground here. And if we turn flight mode off, we can actually get into the Deutz that we've got here. So we've got the combi baler on the back. I'm not going to do loads. I'm just going to show you it working. So there we go. We'll just run around and quickly make a bale. I've just realized I am in kilometers an hour and euros on an American map, just to trigger as many people as possible. But there we go, where we have a bale of wet grass coming out. So should see, there we go, and that should fall off the back. And if I drop it, because I don't have automatic bale dropping on, and there we go, that is our unfermented bale of fresh or wet grass. So let's just have a look at the a normal bale and the stationary bale wrapper, just to check that that all works. So this is another one of the GöWEIL balers. I have clearly cut way too much grass for what we need, but you know, it was easy to do while I was rambling away. If you're wondering why we are in euros and kilometers an hour, it's because I have just been filming or recording a video for the patrons, which is on Furling. So firstly, thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. And if you are interested in any of that, there are links below. So let's have a look at this stationary baler. I have to admit, I have not used this yet, but I believe this is the one that runs completely on its own. So if we maybe that's it. I've not tested this one out before, but I am really intrigued to see how it works. So I should clearly have done a little bit more prep in advance. So where's the starter for this guy? Does it need to be attached to a tractor? I didn't think it did. It's running. Definitely running. Maybe the bale goes on the other side. Always practice your demos before you start. I practiced it. Oh, great. Everything else I tested except this. And this is the one that has to misbehave on me. There we go. Perfect. Nothing like a professional demonstration. So there we go. And that will fall off the other side. And that'll be another bale of fresh grass. Fall off this side. There we go. So very nice. Let's just move the bloody handle out of the road. There we go. So yeah, that works with the MaizePlus bale. So that was a bale of fresh grass, and then over here we have one of the stationary balers. So if I fire this up, there we go, and then jump in the JCB, and we're just going to put in some, did I set the bale size to 150 yet? We're going to put in some of the MaizePlus fill types and just demonstrate this working. So if I go through to, we'll get there, I'm looking for fresh maize. There it is, fresh maize. And if I put in, I think this holds about, I think a bale is 5,500 litres, so I'm going to put that in just so we can demonstrate some of the other ones as well. If not, I'll just buy a couple more of these just to show them off. Come on. So there we go. We can put fresh maize in. It works just fine. You do need the updated version, as I said, which is available on ModHub now. So there we go. It's going in. It's going through. It's being baled. We'll just wait for it to pop out the end. I love the animations on this and the graphics and stuff. It's really, really cool update. Have been excited about this one for a while. So yeah, and the fact that the MaizePlus guys have managed to get it to work is awesome. So there we go, and falling off of there. My display seems to have frozen. There we go. A bale of 5,500 litres of fresh maize. So if we put super strength black on just so we can move that out of the way, and then we will make a bale of something else just so you can see that it works. So maybe if we do let's just scroll through and see, find a fill type that looks interesting, shall we? Let's do a I'm not sure how much one of these will hold, so we'll just put in enough to do what should be a bale. We'll put in some corn grain grist, which is raw CCM, depending on, you know, if we're used to old MaizePlus, and we'll just let that go through and we'll get a bale of that. So it just works. You know, it's the guys in the farming agency who do the coding for this stuff are awesome, and yeah, it just does its thing. And there we go, we have a bale of CCM coming through. It'll wrap it up, it'll drop off, it'll ferment and turn into fermented CCM. So cool. So yeah, that is the GöWEIL DLC with MaizePlus. So there we go, we have a bale of fermenting corn grain grist. Yeah, so yeah, any questions or problems on this, I would head over to the MaizePlus Discord. There'll be a link for that below. If you do have issues, bring a log file with you. Ask sensible questions, screenshots, log files, all sorts of things that people will be asking for if you find bugs with this. And if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Any simple comments or questions or whatever, stick them below, and I'll see you next time.